سويسرا. في هذا البلد الجميل يلتقي الجمال الطبيعي بالإبداع البشري، وتنسجم التقاليد العريقة مع روح الحداثة والتقدم. هذه الدولة التي تتوسط أوروبا ليست مجرد نقطة التقاء جغرافية، بل هي قلب نابض بالعلم والفن والاقتصاد القوي والدبلوماسية الحكيمة. من جبال الألب التي تعانق السماء إلى البحيرات التي تعكس صفاءها، ومن مدنها المتألقة مثل زيورخ وجنيف إلى أروقة جامعاتها العريقة ومراكزها البحثية الرائدة، تبقى سويسرا نموذجاً فريداً للدولة التي تجمع بين الطبيعة الأخاذة والابتكار المتطور. ولأنها أرض السلام والحياد، فقد اختارت أن تكون منبراً للحوار والتفاهم، ومقراً للمنظمات الدولية التي تسعى لتحقيق الاستقرار في العالم. أما ثقافياً فهي فسيفساء من الهويات المتناغمة، إذ تحتضن 4 لغات رسمية وتنبض بالحياة عبر مهرجاناتها وفنونها وإرثها الغني. واليوم يشرفنا أن نسلط الضوء أكثر على هذا البلد المتميز، وذلك من خلال ضيفنا الكريم سعادة سفير سويسرا لدى دولة الكويت. أهلا وسهلا بكم سعادة السفير.
أهلا بكم مشاهدينا في حلقة جديدة ولقاء متجدد من برنامجكم مع السفير. معي ومعكم في حلقة هذا اليوم سعادة سفير سويسرا تيزيانو بالميلي. Your Excellency, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you for having us, first of all. Secondly, we want to ask you, Your Excellency, when did you present your credentials and what are the most outstanding memories about that day?
Yes, I presented my credentials. It was in November, 25 of November, if I'm not wrong, 2022. And it was a very beautiful experience. It was a big honor to present my credential to His Highness, Sheikh Mishal. And I was really impressed, touched by, he was sharing with me, after the official ceremony, there are some minutes where you can have a conversation. And it was very beautiful conversation because he was telling me about his the time that he was spending in Switzerland in the past, and I was impressed by his deep and precise knowledge of Switzerland and of the Swiss people. And for me it was wonderful to have this privilege to hear about his personal experience, himself and family, etc. in Switzerland in the 70s, in the 80s. It was amazing, something that I will never forget.
Your Excellency, can you share with us your impressions of Kuwait?
Yes, we are very happy, myself, my family, my wife and our kid, we are very happy to be here. And when people, non-Kuwaiti, are asking me about Kuwait, I always say, you know, here the difference, what makes the difference is the people. The people of Kuwait are amazing. We love so much the attitude, the hospitality, they are open-minded, they are so friendly. So the peoples of Kuwait are the real asset of the country, and this is why myself, my family, but I know also all colleagues, I can speak also for the colleagues from other embassies, we all appreciate the people of Kuwait.
What about your experience as the Swiss ambassador here?
Yes, as Swiss ambassador, I have a big privilege because many Kuwaitis, they know Switzerland very well. Sometimes it's already the 4th generation in a family, the 4th generation visiting Switzerland. And so for me, it's very beautiful to have these exchanges. Every time I go out, every time I visit a Divania or an event, I discover new people, new Kuwaitis, who are telling me about their trips to Switzerland, their house in Switzerland, their friends in Switzerland. It's so beautiful. This is very beautiful.
Your Excellency, how do you evaluate the strength of the bilateral relations between the Swiss and Kuwaiti people?
Yes, we have a lot of things in common. When I think in terms of countries, government, we are both very peaceful countries. We love peace, we want to have good relations with everybody. And this make that Kuwait, also like Switzerland, has a long tradition of humanitarian actors, so provide humanitarian assistance, for example, to help countries and people in needs, and also a role of bridge builder, promoting dialogue. You have, when there are tensions or conflicts, etc., Kuwait always had this role of promoting dialogue. And this is something we share with Switzerland, Kuwait and Switzerland. And so this is natural that our two countries can only be friends, because we have this very important characteristic and value, in terms of value in common. And then we are good friends also, especially for this reason.
Of course, Your Excellency. What are the other key fields of cooperation between the Swiss and Kuwaiti people, and how can these be expanded further?
Yes, one important field is trade and investment. So for centuries, the Kuwaiti people have been business people, traders. They were traveling abroad, getting in touch with new countries, new cultures, bringing back, etc. And this is something very good, because we also have this approach. We are a country landlocked. We have to travel to be open. If we want to be prosper, to be rich, to have development, we need to be open. And the Kuwait also, Kuwaiti people, they travel. So the trade and investment is one important, both fields of trade and investments are very important, and I must say also very easy to promote, because the conditions, we have best conditions, like we have bilateral agreements for the protection of investment against double taxations. We have even a free trade agreements between GCC and EFTA, European Free Trade Association. Switzerland is part of it. We are not part of European Union. So we have this, let's say, added value, comparative advantage, because we have free trade agreement between Switzerland and Kuwait. So we have the best conditions to promote trade and investments.
Speaking about trade and investment, Your Excellency, how can we increase the volume of trade and investment?
Yes, it's all about connecting the people, because the framework is there. We have to connect the people to multiply the occasion of knowing each other and discover potential ideas and work on potential ideas. So this is why, for example, we establish with some Kuwaiti business people, important business people, at the end of 2023, what we call the Swiss Kuwaiti Business Platform. It's a platform. A platform is something to connect people. It is there for people who wants to interact, who wants to develop business ideas for investment. And this platform is like a bridge builder, because people are interested, they can use it, they can discover each other, and then it's private. We don't have a government involvement in the trade and investment. We live with the private sectors, we trust the private sector, and we want the private sector to be free to develop and to flourish.
Your Excellency, mentioning Kuwaiti businessmen, can we know what is the volume of the Kuwaiti investments there?
Yes, it's difficult to mention the volume, because the statistics do not tell us all the truth. For example, a lot of goods coming from Switzerland to Kuwait, they are transiting through the United Arab Emirates. So in the statistics, it will appear that it's something you import from Dubai or Abu Dhabi, but in reality, these are Swiss goods which first go there because there is Dubai port, etc., and then they come here. So the statistics only tell us a part of the volume. So this is why it's not let's say, a reliable figure in our case.
Your Excellency, you just told me about how Kuwait and the Swiss are peaceful countries. How do you see Kuwait's humanitarian role? Are there any partnership with the Swiss in the area?
Yes, couple of days ago, we had here in Kuwait the Director General of our cooperation agency. It's a very important agency in Switzerland with a very big budget, and they are in charge of development and humanitarian. She was here to explore opportunities to increase and to have a bigger and deeper cooperation between the two countries. We had important meetings with the Kuwaiti Fund for Development cooperation, and also with His Excellency the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. So it was an important opportunity to discuss and to agree, yes, we want to do something together in the field of humanitarian assistance and development cooperation. And there will be next steps. For example, we negotiate MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, so to also to formalize these positions of both countries to do something together. Concretely, I cannot tell you now concretely, but it can be supporting the international organizations which are specialized, for example, in providing humanitarian assistance, helping against climate change, for example, support people in need. So Kuwait and Switzerland might together choose some projects, some program, and funding them together.
Yes. Your Excellency, how do you describe the Swiss culture in general, and what are its most prominent features?
Yes, it's difficult to use the term Swiss culture because we have even four backgrounds. The language, and the language is very important for the identity, the mentality. We have also two different religions within the Christianity, and then the language, and then we have the gap between the cities and the countryside, the rural areas. So we have a diversity. We have always 26 cantons. We could say even we have 26 cultures. But of course, through the centuries, we managed to develop some common ground that every Swiss will identify itself with some principles. One of them, for example, is like modesty. Swiss people, they don't show off. We are simple and modest people. This is something that we have in common. And another one is also this approach that we are used to take the responsibility in the society, the citizens. We are not just waiting for the government to come and do something for ourselves. So we have a sense of community at municipal level, at the district level, canton level, and the people, they feel it's also my duty and my interest to take care, for example, of the public space, of the environment, to help that things are working. So this sense of responsibility towards the community is very important part of the Swiss identity. Don't wait for the government to come and we do better, faster, cheaper, and it's for ourselves.
Yeah.
So the respect for the common space, because it's my space, the common space. So the feel identify yourself with the community and with the space, public space. So it's makes that things are working because people feel it's our duty, our interest to make things working.
Yes, Your Excellency, we will have a break now, and we will speak more after the break about the diversity of the people.
Yeah.
مشاهدينا، فاصل ونرجع نكمل معاكم حوار السفير. رجعنا لكم من بعد الفاصل ونستكمل حوارنا مع السفير. Your Excellency, how this diversity affect national identity?
Yes, if you have a country with such a diversity, of course, to stay together, you need a lot of tolerance. So people became very tolerant in the sense that you accept that we are all Swiss, but we are all different. We even speak different languages, and very often people do not understand each other. Somebody was saying that the Swiss, they can live together precisely because they do not understand each other. So it was a kind of joke, but there is some truth in this. And so, yes, everybody is Swiss, is proud to be Swiss in its own way. And it is accepted. So you ask any Swiss, he will tell, yes, we are the best Swiss. If you ask the Swiss French, they say, we are the best Swiss. You see that? We are the best Swiss. And it is accepted that everybody feels Swiss and everybody is a Swiss in a slightly different way. And so this is why the country is working, because we accept these differences, which are our strengths also, because it's very important to have diversity of mindsets. Because if you have a team and we are all good in the same way, we can do one thing good. But if you have a team with a diversity of skills, of mentalities, etc., your team will be stronger. So this is why we are a strong team, because we accept that we are different among ourselves.
What aspects of Swiss culture do you think Kuwaitis would find most interesting?
Yeah, when I talk with the Kuwaiti friends, I'm very glad to hear that they appreciate, for example, natural and people being simple, that are being accessible. At the same time, they also appreciate this quality, precision, reliability, so the quality of the Swiss goods, the fact that if you are in business relation with Swiss, they are reliable, the deadline is a deadline, the precision is very important. So this is what I'm hearing from the Kuwaiti friends.
Your Excellency, what are some Swiss cultural initiatives or events organized here in Kuwait?
Yeah, with the embassy, we always organize, for example, a screening of Swiss movies. So this is something, and we also have what we call the Swiss Divania for the French-speaking language. It's a Divania in French, so that we do together with other French-speaking embassies, and this was very successful. I was very happy to organize this French-speaking Divania, and it attracted a lot of Kuwaitis. It was very beautiful. So we are a small embassy, but we try to offer 3, 4, 5 times per year some cultural event to display Swiss culture, being a movie, being a music, being also gastronomy. So this winter we had several evenings. We were promoting Swiss food here in my residence.
Your Excellency, Switzerland has 4 languages. How does this shape the Swiss identity?
Yes, if you have 4 languages and you live together, you have to be very tolerant to accept diversity. So it's not possible that one community, one language tries to prevail, to impose, to be dominant. So this is why in our constitution it is written that all 4 languages are national languages, and they are all the same status and value. For example, all the legislations, every piece of legislation, it is in 3, 4 languages, and they all have the same value. Sometimes it can happen that because of translations, one language is saying slightly different in the law, for example, but the principle of the constitution is that they all have the same values, and to understand which one is correct, you must learn, analyze, etc. And it already happened in the past that, for example, the federal court decided it was not the German, which is the most important in terms of speakers, like 70% are German speakers, but it happened that the federal court declared that, for example, the French or the Italian version of the law was the prevailing one. So accepting that we are all equal and tolerate the differences, and not only tolerate but also capitalize, because as I said, to have differences inside your country is an added value.
Yes, definitely, Your Excellency. Are there any Swiss-Kuwaiti collaborations in arts, music, or education?
Yes, for example, I know that there are agreement for cooperations between universities. I can mention, for example, Geneva University has an agreement for cooperation with Kuwait University. Also in Zurich, in the scientific research, there is an agreement with KISAR, for example, in some scientific field. And of course, there are every year a lot of Kuwaitis who are, for example, in summer camps during the summertime. Universities and schools, educational entities in Switzerland, they are offering, especially in summer, opportunities for the young people from Kuwait to have this experience in Switzerland.
Your Excellency, can you tell us what's the most outstanding Kuwaiti tradition you may describe as unique?
Oh, this is very easy. Definitely, it's the divaniyas. It's something unique, and I love divaniyas. It's something amazing, and from the beginning, I am enjoying visiting divaniyas, especially in Ramadan, but not only in Ramadan. So sometimes I also visit divaniyas outside Ramadan, and it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Your Excellency, what is the number of your community here and how do you communicate with them?
Yes, the number of Swiss citizens here, especially after this COVID crisis, is not big. We have in our records, I would say something between 80 and 100. It's not big, but we have thousands and thousands of friends of Switzerland. This is our biggest constituency. Our community is these thousands and thousands of Kuwaitis who are spending a lot of time in the year in Switzerland. They are traveling between the two countries. And this, we call them the Friends of Switzerland. It's a very big communities. And how we interact with them is that in this residence, we are always organizing events, cultural events, receptions, divaniyas, as I said, to bring the people together, because these Kuwaiti friends, they want to see that the Swiss embassy is here. They are proud of the Swiss embassy, and they want to see we are here, we are active. There is a Swiss presence in Kuwait. So we have a newsletter twice per year. We issue a newsletter where it's also a tool to stay in touch with our friends.
Yes, it's an honor.
Instagram, we have a presence on Instagram, an account. We have thousands of followers, and this is also a channel. I invite everybody to follow us on Instagram. It's a good way to stay in touch.
Yes, yes. It's an honor to have you here, Your Excellency. Of course, as we all know, and as you can tell, that Kuwaiti people love Switzerland so much. And Switzerland is a world-renowned tourist destination. How do you see tourism contributing to the strengthening of relations between the two nations?
Yes, very much. Tourism is very important, and we are very happy that a lot of Kuwaiti tourists are visiting. So Switzerland is part of Schengen. So with the Schengen visa, you go to Switzerland, and with Swiss visa, it's Schengen visa, you go to Europe. So this is also to say we do not know anymore how many Kuwaitis are visiting Switzerland, because with any Schengen visa from any country, you can visit Switzerland. So our statistics also in this field cannot really help us. But it is important, for example, to make sure that the airlines, we have enough flights. So we are trying to work with the airlines to increase the numbers of flights, and also to, why not, open new routes, not only to fly direct flight Kuwait Geneva, but also, for example, Kuwait Zurich. I'm sure the demand is there, and a lot of Kuwaitis would love to have more flights opportunities to Switzerland.
Your Excellency, what Kuwaiti traditions, including music, crafts and cuisine, have you most enjoyed experiencing during your time here?
Yes, for me, as I said, the most important is really the divania, this tradition that the doors are open and you are welcome everywhere. I remember once, by mistake, we went to the wrong address. It was not the right divania where I was invited. It was another Divania, but people were surprised but happy to see me, and it was beautiful because the doors are open, people are open-minded, and this is really unviable. It's fantastic. It's so beautiful here in Kuwait. This hospitality, divanias, sharing. This is a very important value. So, for example, I'm also invited in the desert during the good season. This is also very beautiful tradition that the people, they still have tradition. During the season, we move to the desert, we spend some time there, or the chalet in the other direction. So these are all beautiful, and all is connected to people are also connected to nature. And this is something that we share, this connection with our environment and with our nature, and is an important part of the identity, both in Kuwait and Switzerland, and I think we must preserve this, yes.
What about food, Your Excellency?
Or food, the problem is I'm eating too much, it's so good, and then I'm growing, my weight is, yes, so it's, I love it. Also, this is an example of Kuwaiti being open to everybody, because through the centuries, your people going around and visiting India, China, everywhere, you brought back the best from all these places, also in terms of gastronomy, of food. So there is a very beautiful fusion of different food here. It's fantastic.
But you didn't mention any name of dish.
Yeah, I'm very bad in remembering the names of the dishes. I like to eat. I don't ask questions. I enjoy eat. I don't ask a question. But yes.
Bon appetit. Tell me about Ramadan here in Kuwait.
Yes, this is very, very special and also very beautiful. There is a beautiful energy in the air during the Ramadan. This is something I didn't know before, and it's very beautiful, all this tradition of visiting each other. It's beautiful, and I enjoy really being part. I feel a privilege also being part of this tradition.
You've experienced the Ramadan in Turkey. What is the difference between here and there?
Yes. Well, for example, here I was observing the fasting is very important. It is really part of Ramadan. In Turkey, it was less. It's more individual. There are people doing, people not. And then again, the tradition of divanias, there is not, of course. This is more the family visiting each other, but all this movement of people visiting each other, this tradition is unique here. And no, it's also with my family, because then there is also for the kids, there is something, Ramadan is important for the kids, also at school. I'm very grateful that at school they are also introducing them to Ramadan, and it's very beautiful.
Your Excellency, we've reached to the end to our episode. Would you like to add something?
Yes, you saw I have this card in my hands all the time. This is a celebrative postcard from 1959, which celebrates the first flights between Switzerland and Kuwait. 59. Kuwait was not even independent country at that time, but still already you had people flying. Airline is flying if there are passengers. So it means in 59 we had enough passengers between our two friendly countries. And this leads me also to the first Kuwaiti who managed to establish connection with Switzerland was Mr. Murad Bebehani. And already in the 1930s, which means almost 100 years ago, he managed to establish contact with people from the watch industry in Geneva, in Switzerland. And he managed to convince them, based on trust, to send 2 watches from Switzerland to Kuwait and try to sell them. And it was in the 30s, and it was the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful relations between the watch industry, Kuwait, and the people, because at the end, watches, everybody loves watches, etc. This was the beginning of our people-to-people relations in the 30s. Mr. Bebiani, fantastic, yes.
Your Excellency, we will now have a break and we will be right back. مشاهدينا فاصل وراجعين لكم. مشاهدينا رجعنا لكم من بعد الفاصل ونستكمل حوارنا مع السفير. Your Excellency, Swiss cuisine is often associated with cheese and chocolate. What other Swiss dishes would you recommend trying?
Yes, of course, cheese and chocolate, very famous, very popular also here in Kuwait. And again, different language areas, they have different food. We have different language, different food. So for example, from my region, in the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, we have similar food like in Italy. So we have pasta, we have this kind of food. So for example, one traditional dish that we have in my region is what we call polenta. Polenta is an Italian word. We share this food with north of Italy, and is based, again, very simple, is based with corn flour, which is slowly cooked. And this is something that I'm trying to cook myself here in Kuwait and to invite some friends to introduce it. Yes, because it's not, you will not find in the restaurants. It's very traditional food.
Your Excellency, Swiss society is famous for punctuality, efficiency, and neutrality. How does these values affect daily life?
Yes, it's very important because the fact that people, this punctuality, neutrality means you have respect for the environment, respect for the people around you, and this makes that the society is peaceful because we have this tolerance and respect for the public space, etc. So I think this is something that also the Kuwaiti friends, they appreciate, because you are in an environment where things are working. The places are clean, for example, services are provided, etc. And I think everybody in general, it's something that people are appreciating. So to be in a safe, secure, clean environment. At the same time with beautiful nature, because we have both. Also, when you are in a town or city in Switzerland, you are far away from nature. 10 minutes and you are in full nature. You can see this painting here. It's very well representing the tradition and the culture of Switzerland. You have some people enjoying some simple meal. It's some cheese, some bread in the countryside. This painting is telling a lot about our culture. So, of course, it's an old painting, and it's not 100% Switzerland today is the same, but this is telling us a lot about our roots, and the roots are important for the identity.
It's a beautiful painting, Your Excellency, and that's why I want to ask, how does Switzerland balance tradition with innovation in its approach, culture and education?
Yes, I think we managed to keep both the roots, which are really deep into the nature, and at the same time we are a very innovative country. I think at the international level there is a ranking which is the most innovative countries, and for the past maybe 10 years Switzerland was in the world #1 for innovation. This is again because our universities, but also the companies, research institutes, we are investing a lot. Since the government is not taking away a lot of money from the companies through fiscal pressure, the companies, again, they have the possibility to invest this money in the research, which is applied research. So it's a very effective research. We are investing billions, both in public and private sector, for research. We are open to people coming from different backgrounds, different countries. We attract a lot of scientists from abroad, because in Switzerland we offer best conditions to do research for innovation. And again, we have, for example, now there is all this about cryptocurrency, etc. Our country choose, for at least for a transition, the government choose not to set a lot of prohibitions. Let the people experiment, let the private sector experiment and see how we can transform this new field into something positive. And then we will see. So our approach is tolerant, is liberal. We let the people, the companies, the universities experiment, and we observe if it is good or not good. And through this, we are very innovative, because if you prohibit or if you force everybody to do the same, for example, everybody has to do the same, you kill the innovation, because you tell everybody you do like this. We leave, as I say, to each community, each canton, freedom. Through freedom, people can experiment, and then we say, look, we have, for this problem, we have 2-3 different solutions. Which one is the best? And then we choose the best. This is why we are very strong. We don't have a government top-down telling to the people, the society, you must do this, or this is not allowed. Let's experiment. Let's see what is your idea, what is my idea, and then we compare and we choose the best. So it's a philosophy. Our government is working also based on this philosophy. Our citizens are expecting this, and it's a successful formula.
Definitely, Your Excellency. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for having us today.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
مشاهدينا، وصلنا معاكم لنهاية حلقة هذا اليوم من برنامج مع السفير. نراكم في حلقة أخرى. دمتم في أمان الله ورعايته.